Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guide 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition of Donnie Darko. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, that Movie Guide 365. Okay, Donnie Darko is now available on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Arrow Video. Now, as far as the movie itself goes, I've always been a big fan of it. I like some good, just low-key sci-fi dramas, and at that particular time, Donnie Darko, I think, really scratched that itch. Now, it is also available with a director's cut version, which was released several years after the initial cut. And I have to say, preferably, I'm more of a theatrical version type of guy. I think I like the ambiguity a little bit more. I don't like that they kind of spell it out a little bit more so in the director's cut. And also some of the, the texts and the musical switches, I'm not overly a huge fan of. But I think both versions stand on their own really well. Just for me, theatrical is the way to go. And I think the overall direction and the cast and the story, it's very unique. It's one of those movies that stays with you for quite a bit of time. And of course, we have Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal in this one, and just their performances are really good. And honestly, if you haven't seen Donnie Darko, do yourself a favor, watch it. It's really, I think, just something that will stay with you for quite a bit of time. Okay, we're going to talk about the picture quality and audio in just a few moments, but first let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, we have the 4K limited edition of Donnie Darko from Arrow Video here. I really like the packaging. It's actually pretty solid. And then we have the spine, and then the back. And then interior-wise, let's dive into the discs. We have the front cover, back, and then we have disc artwork there. This is the theatrical cut and the director's cut. And then we have a postcard, and then just some various, theater cards. Also, for the cover artwork, there is a reversible image right there. As you can see, it's the original poster. So that's always a nice bonus when more of the boutique labels do that one. And it comes with a poster, which is usual for the limited edition releases, and a massive book, which I'm gonna thumb through this one later, but gives you some notes and everything about the movie. This is like pretty extensive. So yeah, this is really cool to have. Arrow Video, I feel, did a really solid job with this overall presentation. So now, let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Before I begin my review, you may or may not be aware that the theatrical 4K disc included in this set suffers from playback issues on certain 4K players. From start to finish, the theatrical edition has a massive stuttering problem. It's very juddery and it just does not look good. It's actually very unwatchable. Now, this doesn't affect every player. When I played the theatrical disc on my OPPO 203, it seemed to work fine. There were no issues to speak of, but when I put it in my alternate player, the Panasonic UB820, the stuttering was apparent from the beginning. And also, when I put it in the PlayStation 5, same results. It seems the OPPO is one of the exempt players that is affected by this, as well as some of the Sony players that are out there in the market. So just be aware that Arrow Video posted on their Twitter account that they're aware of the issue and they're going to be looking into a replacement program sometime in the future. So just keep that in mind when you're purchasing the Donnie Darko limited edition set, that as of right now, the theatrical disc is a bit faulty. Despite the fact that the theatrical cut works perfectly fine on my particular player, I decided for this review to focus on the director's cut, which is available to everybody without any issues. Donnie Darko on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 2351 aspect ratio, native 4K resolution. It was also given a 4K restoration supervised by director Richard Kelly and the director of photography. It also has HDR10 and Dolby Vision for the grading. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision encode. In all of the formats that I've ever watched Donnie Darko in, it's always had a bit of a, forgive the pun, a dark and murky look to it. The film was just shot that way. That's how it was intended by the director and the director of photography. So this 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition, while it does improve some of those aspects, all of a sudden you're not going to get a bright and cheerful picture. This is not, I would say, a visually clear image with the 4K resolution. What we do get here are bumps up with the resolution. I feel detail is nicely enhanced here. It's not perfect. There are still a few soft spots, but once again, I think that's more of the source material and less of a fault in the transfer. Colors, I feel for the most part, look good here. Clothing, there's a couple characters that have brighter clothing, which I feel comes across very nicely here on this 4K release, as well as the outdoor daytime scenes. The grass is particularly green. Those well-manicured lawns really come across very nice. And there's a lot of, I feel, boost in color and contrast. Black level and shadow detail are rendered nicely in this release. Once again, there's a lot of, I feel, darker scenes that benefit greatly. And, you know, nighttime scenes, I think, come across particularly well. There's some inky moments there. I didn't detect any black crush or macro blocking throughout the film, and I was actively looking for it. Overall, black levels, I think, are spot on. Donnie Darko on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a DTS 5.1 audio mix. Now, this is a audio track that has been available on previous releases on Blu-ray, so there's nothing new here, but overall, it's a very strong presentation. There's a lot going on in your complete surround sound environment. I would say the highlight is, of course, when Frank is speaking. It fills all those speakers very well. It just pulls you right into the movie, gives you that nice creepy atmosphere, and all the other atmospheric effects and environmentals and a couple of, dialogue moments come across very well in the surround sound environment. Dialogue through the center channel is clean and clear, no issues to report. And the front channels, when they handle a lot of the activity on screen, they do a great job. And once again, the surround sound environment, I feel, is probably one of the strongest aspects of this release. It has a lot of room-filling environmentals and music and just overall, just atmosphere come across great. The LFE channel is very punchy. There's a lot going on throughout the film that make great use of that particular aspect. The jet engine and the storm, and when Donnie's stabbing the mirror at Frank, you get that nice little oomph to it, and it has a good bit of impact, and I think it's overall complements the film very well. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Donnie Darko on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a B. This is not going to be a visually stunning image on 4K. The film was not shot that way. It can only do so much with the HDR and Dolby Vision. I know some people are going to complain that the movie is too dark, but that's just inherent to the source material. But where we do get a lot of benefit are the little pops of color with contrast. Black levels, I think, are nicely done, and detail gets a suitable enhancement. For the audio presentation, I'm going to give this one an A-. I think the DTS 5.1 is very strong. It doesn't have any kind of real issues to speak of. It's very environmental, atmospheric, a lot going on at any given moment. And if you're familiar with the audio track from previous Blu-ray releases, you know what to expect. I feel it's a very solid audio presentation. So that is my review of Donnie Darko on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. Let me know in the comments section below if you picked it up for yourself. What did you think of the 4K disc? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.